Yeah. You can just flex these almost anywhere. I would prefer to see Mars in the mid lane here. The only issue I have with mid Mars is I don't really like Blink Dagger on him. I think he really falls off in damage if he goes for Blink Dagger, but you have some high damage supports on your team. Zeus, Hoodwink, Snapfire. If any of these are support heroes, like they put in a lot of damage, they can make up for Mars going for a utility item or gap closing instead of an early armlet or desolator. So it makes up for the weaknesses. Oh, Draft from Beast Coast I do like quite a bit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of spells for Rubik to steal here. And if that is an offlane Mars, which, you know, you already got a Zeus on your team and potentially 2 supports in the form of Hoodwink and Snapfire, Lifestealer's feeling kind of good against Mars, man. Even though I think this is an awful hero. Hate Lifestealer.
Alright, by my count already, there are 10 good spells for Rubik to steal once Zeus has Ags. The thing is, you can't steal them all at once. If everyone has good spells, you can't steal all spells at once, right?
Steal 2 of them at once.
That's still only 1/5 of the good spells. So at this point, the more good spells you pick, the less you can steal as a percentage of good spells in the game. Like that's totally good logic, right?
I mean, here's the issue. Like every time you cast a spell, Rubik's gonna have something good to steal.
At this point, there's not much you could do about that. I mean, there's heroes in the game like Zeus. There's no bad steals. Snapfire. There's really no bad steals there either. So I mean, no matter what you do, Rubik's going to steal something.
I mean, you
can't
can
be afraid of
toggle
Rubik.
Bulwark every time Rubik tries to snatch something.
I didn't mention Mars.
Yeah, intentionally, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because there is, I mean, Bulwark's not a good spell to steal. Even then, Rebuke's not great to steal either for Rubik in particular. So obviously, Arena Spear very great. That was in my count of 10.
You haven't seen the right-click Rubik with the. Wait, did they end up removing that Fateful?
They removed that talent. They definitely they did, right? They had to have. It was a lot of damage.
Oh, that would actually be kind of sick. The Gods of Buke Rubik with the Fateful talent.
That'd be disgusting. That'd be disgusting.
Off topic here.
There's Rubik in the game. There's Mars in the game. It's actually on topic, surprisingly. It's remarkably on topic.
I mean, you can stop Rubik from getting that as long as you constantly toggle a Bulwark after you Gods of Buke. You can do that every single time. No cooldown on that ability.
So at this point, what are we looking at? We're looking at a carry for Beast Coast and probably in... Is it an offlaner or a support for nouns at this point? Because this Dawnbreaker has a lot of flex potential still.
Offlaner support for nouns?
5 seconds remaining.
God, I'm thinking it'll probably be a pause 5 that you pick up last year. I'd honestly want to see something with a save. Viper isn't what I would imagine they pick up here. Maybe they're just afraid of pause 5 Viper running down the Mars inside the lane. But they seem to think it's going to be a 3. They ban out the Viper and the Beastmaster.
Yeah, I mean, a Husky plays a pretty good 5 Dawnbreaker if memory serves, and I'm sure if you look at the NSA pubs, there's a good bit of 5 Dawnbreaker players around. So I'm sure it's in the players' minds right now.
Again, Dusky.
10 seconds remaining.
Husky is a god gamer. He plays everything well.
Of course.
Yeah. He got that dog in him.
We had this conversation yesterday. We definitely did. So we need a K1 hero. What's left in terms of things K1 would really want to pick here in this 23 slot?
Again, I think another frontlining hero is what they need, and they seem to think so as well on nouns because they get rid of the Juggernaut on top of the Naga Siren. Sven is still in the pool, but I'm not sure you want to run him against the Lifestealer. I think Lifestealer has a relatively easy time against him.
Obviously, Wraith King's a K1 classic, but into the Invoker, that seems like a rough idea as well.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Wraith King.
If CK wasn't banned, CK would be great if that wasn't banned, but obviously not an option.
Nouns turn to pick.
Okay, that's a high armor hero. That's Terrorblade.
Fights into the Lifestealer reasonably well. Any hero that just, out right clicks the Lifestealer has very high armor, fights into him fairly well. So I do like the TB here. You've got enough magic burst to be able to deal with him, though. The Invoker, the Rubik, are going to both have a fairly easy time against him. We'll see how they round this one out and play against him inside the lane, though. Because again, last hero coming out here is probably going to be an offlaner. It's very likely going to be a.
Crystal Maiden.
It was support. We said support.
Hold on, it could be got mid CM. No, it's not.
It is not. It is Husky's favorite persona.
Yeah. They actually
There's
added
a-
this
I mean,
one to the
you-
game specifically for Husky.
Interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't know that, but it makes sense. We have new lore on that one.
Mhm.
But I mean, this is a situation where I think both teams have what they want. Where K1 wants to play this hyper carry who hits creeps, and nouns of heroes who want to run at K1 hitting creeps, and it comes down to how sneaky and maneuverable and ungankable will K1 be on this fine evening.
The answer is probably very. Stig has a pretty easy time moving around the jungle. So does Schofield. Dark Mago, I imagine, is going to be making plays happen with his Mars in the mid lane. I think you're not going to really have time to run at the Terrorblade unless you manage to shut down Dark Mago inside the lane. And that is a tall order. We'll see how Gunnar does. Invoker is one of his better heroes, thankfully.
Oh, by the way, it'll end up being Mars middle, Snapfire farming off lane, one of Sacred's things he can pull out of his back pocket, and then Zeus Hoodwink support duo.
Mm-hmm.
Sacred's got a really weird off lane play. I love it a lot.
Yep.
This guy just plays like Snapfire off lane, Weaver off lane. He's been around some weird picks and he makes it work.
Yeah, I mean the Mars mid can kind of make up for it. He's going to be your frontliner. It makes up for the fact that Snapfire doesn't really do that. So, I do think that even though I don't believe in Snapfire 3 with the Mars, it can work.
Yeah. Either way, we certainly will see. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1 of Nouns taking on Beast Coast. It is the losers bracket quarterfinals. The winner of the series will make the top 4. They will play the winner of Infinity Thunder Awaken. The loser will go out at 5th to 6th place tied. It's Nouns on the Radiant side, Beast Coast on the Dire side. My name is Badger. I'm joined by the always elite neph Sensei. And I think we're in for a good time. We were in for a good time yesterday. I think we're going to be in for a good time today.
All right, look at this psychopath Schofield. He's starting boots first. He's already making a run for it out of his base. Nobody's going to be able to match this guy's pace. He's going to drop his ward. No one's going to see it. I wonder how deep he plans on placing this one. I'm a big fan of boots first and going to ward. Husky isn't going to be anywhere close. He's got the 3-2-2 on his movement speed on Crystal Maiden. Kind of a telling sign of this game, if you ask me.
I didn't expect
That's with him smoked up as well, Neph. Versus Schofield's just a man with brown boots, not even smoked up. So he's ready to go sweep as the Wolves of Lifestruck here.
Yeah. It just wouldn't be Pro Series without the pause. Are you admin as well as caster today?
Yeah, as far as I know, until someone else shows up, I'm doing both jobs. Hopefully someone else shows up eventually. That'd be nice. Make my day easier, so.
Excellent. You got to wear a lot of hats in this industry, Badger.
I've got a big head. I'm ready to wear some hats.
Yeah. Our leader, Blaze, that man is still referred to as Blaze Casting, even though man just like does operations or some shit now.
He's like third in charge of BTS or something now? Something like that?
I don't know. He does something important. I think he wears a suit.
Probably, yeah. He wears a suit with 4 hats as well on top of the suit. It's like a 7-piece. It's a 7-piece suit.
Yeah. It's a good thing you showed up. Otherwise, he'd have to stand in casting again. Man hasn't done that in years. I was excited about the idea.
At a certain point, you never lose it, You learn it, and then you never lose it. You come back. Yesterday, I hadn't casted in a month because I've been literally admitting Pro Series for the last month. I'm like, all right, let's do it. By game 2, I was back.
Wait a second. That's not true. That's a blatant lie. I saw you cast more recently than that.
Oh
You're
yeah,
being fact-checked.
the one day I had off. You're right. The one day I had off.
Yeah, the one day you had off, you just started doing more Dota stuff. You're actually a psychopath.
I like casting Dota. What can you say?
Jumped at the opportunity when we found out Ricky was sick. It's possible you even like poisoned him or something. I don't know. I haven't heard from Ricky in a couple days.
I would never poison Ricky in particular. Come on now.
I'm gonna miss him.
I'm gonna miss him too. Obviously, if Ricky's listening, we hope you feel better, man. It's never fun to be sick. We're seeing a little bit of brawling with Schofield, Mr. 360 move speed, but he will not grab that rune. It will be 3 runes again for Nouns. That's been the story of their playoff run. Is getting 3 runes in a lot of their games, which is
they lose
usually a good
3
sign.
runes.
That's actually also true. So you need to coach your team, Neph. You need to tell them, please stop grabbing runes.
Yeah. That's alright. We've got Coach Estini. They don't need me to say anything. Hell, they prefer if I say nothing.
Fair, fair.
I booked the schedules. I managed the payments.
Oh no! You see that from Gunner mid? Oh no!
I
He
did not.
sunstriked and right-clicked, but he uphill mischanced and he got denied.
Ooh, you hate to see it. You commit that much money trying to secure CS and you don't get it. That's some truly tragic shit right there.
You're down, damn. I mean, it's not a situation to last at that, but it's unfortunate.
He didn't get a single creep on the first wave. I need to look elsewhere.
He's got Exort as well. This is tragic. This is tragic. Let's go top lane. Let's go top lane.
Yeah.
And there's been something fun happening top lane. Everybody's injured. Everyone's really injured, actually.
Yeah. This is what Badger likes to see. It's just injured individuals.
I'm gonna get a reputation at a certain point with the way you're talking about.
Yeah. You're a sick person, Badger.
I learned it by watching you.
I see. Backstab your friends. Cruel. What's the word I'm looking for here? Sadistic tendencies.
Oh, sadistic tendencies. Okay. Thought you were going for cruel and unusual punishment. We'll go with that one. Now over to bottom lane, we got some brawling going on there. Everyone but Husky's pretty injured. Husky initiates bottom lane with the frostbite on Sacred, but Frostbite's top lane on Stinger instead. Back to bottom lane, Sacred actually running away. They turn to Schofield. Schofield has no mana for Heavenly Jump. Yamps is looking to run him down. He will not do so. I hope you caught first blood because I didn't. Wait, bottom lane, Sacred. He fairy fires. He's still running. But it's Husky instead. He dies.
I have a connection problem.
All right, hopefully the people, they heard the words that I said, and they know what happened, even though they couldn't see what happened. There were two fights. There were two 2v2s, one top lane, one bottom lane. There was Stinger dying to Lelis top lane, and Husky dying to Sacred and Schofield bottom lane.
No, I caught the first one.
Okay.
The first one that happened. Sorry about the technical difficulties, fellas. Client issues, it looks like.
That's been the name of the game the last, 3 days of Pro Series, you know? 4 days at this point, between people being disconnected, and PCs being on fire, and casters being sick. My good friend TwitchMod Zexer's being sick. Everyone's sick.
Yeah. Everyone's sick. It's kind of wild.
Yeah, I agree. It absolutely is wild. Top lane, though, speaking of wild, K1's in a little bit of danger. He's lifted towards Moo. Moo has the stun, but it's canceled by the two-man bushwhack from Stinger. Reflection is the turn. Lelis is on the run, and good save there from Stinger, saving his carry.
Oh, that would be a tribute. Yeah. Nice save there. Hopefully connection issues all sorted out now. I don't believe the stream dropped there. That might have just been Dota side. Anyways, bottom lane.
We're going to find out soon, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're going to find out in 4 minutes. Enough, if you think about it, right? Considering, when did you learn yesterday you were doing production for stuff like this?
I learned yesterday.
Exactly. You learned yesterday you were doing it yesterday. Considering the circumstance, you're doing a great job.
I'm sure it's fine. Dark Mago tries to chase Gunner underneath the tower, and he ends up getting chased back off. He is pretty far ahead of CS, though. 22 and
Over to
5.
top lane, meanwhile, Fade Bolt brings down K1. Moo and Lelis again combining. They caught Stinger pulling the wave to the small camp, and they punished K1. You were saying before that?
Oh, Gunner getting kind of destroyed in the mid lane as far as CS goes. It's like 22 and 5 on Mars compared to like the 15 and 1 on Gunner, but he's managed to bring it back a little bit on Gunner. Moon
That's
getting
important.
chased down up the top lane. I think Bushwhack connects with him, but doesn't have enough to finish him off. Even if he takes the mango, the acorn shot isn't going to be enough.
Where is Darkmare going to get his runes from is the question. Bountyverse is taken. I think he got one water rune. Okay, he got a water rune. He's good. He'll be a little low on regen, though. He's now out of battle charges. I think he's running for the bounty rune right now, but it's not there. It was taken by Lelis. Good reads from Lelis. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're running at Sacred. Sacred is looking to TP away, but it's actually barely in time. The last hit from Husky was on route, but it could not connect in time.
Metamorphosis popped up in the top lane by K1. Secured himself a couple last hits. Surprisingly, he does. Maybe he just feels like the lane push in like this, they have potential to run him down, pop Metamorphosis early, be able to trade with him if they try to go on him.
Luckily for Nouns, it'll end relatively soon, but yeah, that was a few ways where K1 took complete control. Did a lot of damage to Moo in particular there.
Yep.
looking over at the hero net worth chart, and there's one core that's been struggling a little bit, and that would be Sacred on the offlane Snapfire. He hasn't died yet, but we've noticed the nouns. They've been running at him a lot in this week. Top lane, K1's dropping. He's running away right now. Acorn shots on the way. Lelis' Fate Bolt in 1 second. But the raindrop saves K1. Sunstrike from long range.
Let's go,
That'll
Gunner.
do it. That's the play from Gunner.
Yeah. Man needed that as well. Again, still at a little bit of a disadvantage compared to Dark Mago here, but as far as net worth goes, after he finds that kill, he's a bit ahead of him.
Meanwhile, speaking of Gunner, he cold snaps Dark Mago. Lelis joins him with the lift, has no mana for Fade Bolt. Dark Mago spears back Gunner. Schofield rotates in. Dark Mago is running. I think he'll barely get away. Sunstrike again! Again! From long range!
Let's go.
He's just too good! He even denies his own Force Spirit to save the gold! Gunner Dota 2!
Yeah, that was actually really smart by Zeus. You saw when he came in, he didn't use Heavenly Jump or Lightning Bolt at all, beside the Rubik. Rubik would have just gotten wand charges from that one and then been able to Fade Bolt him afterwards. So intentionally not dropping any spells, but he still ended up going down on the Mars anyways.
I love casting Quasi Exort Invoker. I really do. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, as long as we don't miss these Sunstrikes.
It's so much more exciting than Quas Vex. It really is.
Quas Wex is just miserable to play against as well. You're like playing your game, then you get Tornado EMP'd. You lose all your mana, and then you're not playing the game anymore.
If you think about it, the caster's having less fun, the player's having less fun, the Invoker player's having less fun. They would rather be Sunstriking. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's game theory, right? Everyone gains if everyone agrees to go Quas Exorts. Everybody wins. Speaking of possibly everybody winning, top lane rotation from Schofield. The 2v3 of the top lane, nouns around the run. Moo is already low. Lift on Stinger brings him towards K1. Bolt from Schofield. They're running at Moo. Moo most certainly will die. Meta is committed just in case. Moo is dead. Les Slough will run away back towards, I don't know, the south, I guess. And then we are back to farming again.
Yeah. Stunned up and killed there. Didn't have a chance to pop his wand. I'm not sure he would have survived there anyways when he did pop it. Conserve the wand charges for when he returns. Bottom lane, Dark Mega pops the invis and is making rotation down.
He's got the arena, 4 points in spear. Yamsun, the ideal target, has rage, but wait, Sentry Ward. Oh, he's barely outside the Sentry Ward range. Dark Mago looks for the spear angle. He's waiting. He's patient. Patience from Dark Mago. Arena spear. Yamsun on the inside, stunned by Cookie. He'll rage in time, but he could not infest before he died. Good rotation from Beast Coast to Dark Mago.
Yep, nice find. Not much you can do about that one, other than like, plant wards over by the rune, but
Radiant's bottom tower
they knew
is
they
under
didn't have any there. Band of Bells
Courier
getting picked off.
Schneid.
Yeah, nice job there by Lelis. Man seems to be enjoying himself on this Rubik. Getting close to level 6 as well always becomes a lot more fun to play once you have that done.
Of course, of course. He's not done yet. He's rotating on Schofield right now. As you mentioned, lift towards Gunner. Cold snap the follow. He jumps away, but there's still too much cold snap. No, Husky dives bottom back to the mid lane. Rotation from Moo with the Solar Guardian secures a kill on Schofield. Across the map, a 1-for-1 support trade. Not quite sure what happened bottom, but I'm sure he got speared by Dark Mago.
Yeah, Spear and Mortimer Kiss is coming on to him. No way Crystal Maiden surviving that one. Even with the wolf-like features.
This makes sense. It's deceptive, as we mentioned.
Not as tanky as you think you'd be.
Of course. I mean, the wolf runs, but not fast enough. Mid T1 was brought down the Dire side. Last hit goes to Gunner, so that's one tower up for now. And they're running into this Dire-sided jungle. Towards Stinger. Fade Bolt the lead into the lift. Cold Snap available once again. Sunstrike is up if needed. Bushwhack on Gunner and his Forge Spirits, but Stinger eventually will die. One more kill for Gunner. And now we see Lelis and Gunner denying their own ward. They know there's a sentry on the floor. They'll even kill the courier!
Wait,
Interesting.
Radiant's middle tower.
Wait, TP canceled. Uh-oh. This could be a problem. K1 has a reflection. There's Dark Mago and Schofield on the way. Schofield's low on HP. K1 has Sunder if he needs it. Arena is up for Dark Mago. Gunner, he's juking around. Meanwhile, Schofield dies to Lelis. Back to Gunner. He's still running. Arena on the floor. Spear pins him down. Elastic goes to K1. Interesting engagement. I think Beast Coast won that, they committed a lot for it.
Interesting is the word for it, yes, yes. Definitely went a little bit too far. Very unfortunate the TP ends up getting interrupted on his way out. I was wondering why they didn't just like hard commit and deny the ward there. That's because it was just time to leave right then and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yimson hasn't. We haven't really been looking at him too much. We saw him go down once.
It's good you mentioned him because he's running a Sacred right now. The TP will be in time though. There's no Frostbite available.
Middle tower is under attack.
Unfortunate that they committed the Frostbite for that one. Yeah, smart move just to TP out. Top lane. Catapult's gonna do some damage to this tower. I think they'll be able to keep it alive. Actually, no, it goes down here to one more catapult attack.
There it is. That's now 2 towers taken by nouns. Beast Coast have 0 currently.
Radiant's middle
Give them
tower
reasonable
is under
control over the
attack.
map.
And that's important against a Terrorblade, especially a Terrorblade with the farming capabilities of K1, aka Hector.
Yep.
You want to keep that man down. Do not let him hit creeps.
Yep. They're about to keep Sacred down here. He's getting
Yeah,
dove hard.
one
Lightning
more
bolt
dive.
misses.
Oh, gets away.
Yep. A Schofield
Move
coming
the
in.
Schofield instead. Move over to the Solar Guardian. Sunstrike again from long range from Gunner. I think that's 3 Sunstrike kills for Gunner. What a gamer. And with that kill, that's 1 more tower likely going down. It's already low on HP. Bushwhack will hit on 2 into the Mortimer's Kisses. The target appears to be Moo. Yamsun's running. Moo's engaging in for the kill. Stinger takes too much damage with the... Oh, he gets a Sharpshooter out before he dies to bring down Moo. Meanwhile, on the west side, there's a 2-man arena on Lelis and Husky. Freezing Duel comes in, cancelled by Spear. Husky to fall. Lelis still running. In this 1v3, has Fade Bolt, that has little chance of rising. He'll Scatter Blast. He's out of mana. Sunstrike will be used just in case, but will not hit this time around.
Is under attack.
Both teams got what they wanted, but Beast Coast definitely won that one.
Yep. Much needed win for them as well. Getting XP swing back in their favor. They get another tower there on Nouns. They managed to find, 1 kill there. But unfortunately, they lose 3.
That's the one good thing is Yamsun did not die in that engagement. He's still farming fairly well. A little bit behind K1, but gets a pretty good farm rate right now. He's at the finished armlet, just got off the courier, so he's ready to go.
Yeah. TB definitely way ahead of him as far as CS goes, but I think TB's just like farmed up a lot of the jungle. I think his illusions and whatnot. Mostly been lane creeps that Yimson's been farming.
Yeah, it's 5,800 on Terrorblade versus 5,600 on Lifestealer. Speaking of Yamsun, he's farming very aggressively into this dire
He
side
also
jungle.
doesn't have a TP right now. I think he's got... Maybe he has one flying out? No, he doesn't.
Eventually one will get there, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Eventually.
Yeah, but he's got 2 points of the rage, so he's always going to be able to rage TP. The 4 seconds for that one. If you have like 3 seconds, then Dark Mayor could like line up the perfect spear. Like after you activate the TP after raging, it'll connect with you. But 2 points, you'll always be able to get the rage TP off.
Yeah.
If he has the
Keyword
TP, of
should,
course.
but... And it's one of those things too where I'm not sure if Beast Coast are going to build a BQ piercing anything for a long time. And maybe eventually K1 will get a Basher, but
Dire's top
he
tower
wants
is
a ton
under
of other
attack.
items. Manta, Scotty, BKB, maybe even like a Butterfly this game. There's a lot that he wants that's not called, say, a Basher.
Yeah. Speaking of items coming out, Dark Mago just finishes up his Blink Dagger. Okay, it's killing time. He's got his eyes down
Absolutely.
here on the bottom lane. Let's go, Dark Mago.
Yeah, not a bad kill. The Dawnbreaker, always a nice hero to remove in terms of removing a threat from the map. However, the Ward, it spots it out, but there's still a Blink Arena. Spear on top of Moo. He used his hood active, but there's going to be too much damage. Moo will eventually die, barring a miracle juke. He's trying it right now, but eventually he'll get run on down. The kill goes to Sacred via the cookie.
Perhaps a strange manner of conduct.
Looks like they tried to make a movement on Stinger here in the mid lane, but too
Radiant's
close to the
bottom
tower,
tower
so
is under
not much is going to
attack.
come of that. And they'll turn this into some damage on the tier 1 bottom. Unfortunately, I'm not sure Noun's going to be able to get much out of the map while this is going on.
And they'll hit some creeps, but as it happens, it's Lelis who dies as well. I mean, they unleashed the Thunder God's Wrath just in case. Dark Mago gets that kill. Sunstrike again from Gunner! Another one!
Ooh, Dark Mago
Another
takes it half
Sunstrike
but-
kill! At this point, Yamsun's running on in. He's raging. Moo is respawned into the fight. Dark Mago. He's half HP. If he can blink away, it'll be good, but he can't. His blink has been canceled. He's going to drop. And just like that, the T1 tower still alive. Nouns get vengeance for their Rubik.
Oh, and Gunnar goes back to farming as Invoker, well, Exhort Invoker does. I like that he hasn't got Midas this game, by the way. Instead, he's just gone Witchblade. He's been very active on this.
And usually these invokers that don't go Midas struggle in terms of money, but he's doing great. I mean, he's #1 net worth without a Midas.
Yeah, when you land 7 straight kills this good, I mean, come on, you're going to be loaded. Man, it's just too
Apparently.
good. It is the,
I'm not sure what Lelis and Singer are doing, but they're having a good time right now. They're enjoying themselves. She's thinking I might just be dead. Sorry, what were you saying?
You sure? There's not much follow-up.
I was wrong. What were you saying?
Oh, no. I'm just, like, appreciating the lack of Midas on Gunner. He's going for a BKB next. That'll make it really hard for Dark Mage to get on top of him with the Blink Dagger. Because, again, normally you'd be able to punish this Invoker. He'd be wasting a lot of time, well, wasting a lot of net worth with just having, like, Midas and building up to a BKB or something else. And then the BKB after that. But Mana's wasting no time.
Oh boy.
Backline.
Middle lane, spear on Husky. Dark Mage found the angle into a two-man perfect bushwhack from Stinger. Arena, Mortimer's Kisses, Sharpshooter, Sunstrike comes through, kills Dark Mage, 1-for-1 so far. Gunner, however, is very low. He's going to drop double kill for Sacred. A good fight so far for Beast Coast. Yamsun has been stunned. He has Rage in 7. He should be fine. They lose their mid-Mars. That's a fantastic trade for Beast Coast.
Yeah. And,
You get that streak money, too.
Yeah, and this is going to continue to be an issue. I mean, I think it's just like, yeah, all magic damage that Gunner ended up taking. Mortimer Kisses dropped off to him. Zeus throws the lightning bolt, bushwhack, arena. Not much he can do about that till he's got the BKB, so smart item build from him. It was a very weird initiation off onto Husky of all people, though. Speared him back inside the cliff there.
It was a really interesting angle, but it was perfect. It was literally perfect.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit of a bait from Beast Coast. They're sitting 3 to the west, smoked up around Sacred, and it worked out very well. Good read.
Yeah, Dark Mago's initiations have been very good. And again, he needs to play like super far in front, given that his pause 3 is a Snapfire. But they have a lot of jump between their heroes. Snapfire ended up building an early Blink Dagger as well. A lot of people don't go Aghanim Shard as their first item anymore on Snapfire ever since they nerfed it. Well, they nerfed it and then changed it around to the Fire Snap Cookie.
How long is Schofield's cast range on placing wards? You saw that, right? He was in the river and placed it up here. That's long.
Yeah. I mean, he's got Aether Lens and 2 points.
Meanwhile, in the bot camp, they go on K1. Meta from K1. Arena will be on Gunner. This could be very bad for Nouns. They've already lost 2. And the remainder will be forced to run away.
Yeah.
East Coast, again, they punish Gunner. We were mentioning how great of a game Gunner was having. He's now 4th in net worth and dropping rapidly.
Yep. And this will continue. Beast Coast making all the right moves, punishing him for the fact that he does not have the BKB yet. So Man had the idea, but Beast Coast is just picking up the tempo. We love to see it. I think Wraith King would have been too slow for them to do something like this, so I prefer the fact they have TB.
Absolutely. Honestly, Wraith King was not even that good a pick. I just saw K1 in the game. I'm like, hey, he's good at Wraith King. He's notorious for it. I'll mention that. Well, we see definitely a bit of an anti-carry item from Yamsun. He has the Halberd. A very, very common item on the lifestealer nowadays. We mentioned it yesterday in terms of amplifying the lifesteal, but again, having that disarm, especially into the Terror Blade, can come in handy.
Yeah. Good for a number of reasons. He's going to try to go on Sacred here, but again, the Blink Dagger, he's never going to connect with him.
Yeah, Blink and GP both more than enough to get away with Yamsun's build.
So going for Aghanim Shard next. I like this one. Huge amount of lifesteal for his team. Also be able to provide him a little bit more catch.
Yeah. You know, a lot of these carry players, they're very greedy. They don't want to. They'll get one from Roshan, but no, he's buying it himself. He recognizes the importance of making sure it's guaranteed.
I don't really think that their team is able to do Roshan either.
That's also fair. Yeah.
You kind of could, but you did definitely get wiped out if they caught you on Beast Coast. Nice. Another shot found. He's gonna take that, right?
Well, we are watching the backpack of Gunner actively. Eyes affixed on backpack. He's considering things. He's contemplating neph.
Come on.
He has not sent it back. Maybe he's gonna eat the Lelis?
This isn't important.
But even though it's not important, it matters to us, you know?
Yeah.
We are emotionally invested in the fate of another shot.
What's important is that his BKB is almost done, but Dark Mago's BKB is almost done as well. TB is because I have Scotty. It's being flown at him right now. They're up the tier 1 tower, so they have a lot more control over the map right now. They grouped up like they want to smoke, but they don't have one on Nouns. I guess they'll try to make a movement anyways if they're infesting and going on with Ghostwalk. Yeah, there's the BKB now done on Gunner. So, gonna try to find something. Man is very quick.
He sees K1, good target to find. They go on Stinger instead of the cold snap. Stinger is already dead. They move to K1. Gunner, BKB's Moo arrives. K1's half HP. In come the cores. In comes Dissociation. Sunder on top. Moo is low. Moo is going to dive. What is the trade? Oh no, it's also Yamsun dying. Husky will be next. Gunner looks to clear up the fight, but there's so many Beast Coast cores. They all run at Gunner. Morris Kisses has been told to bring down K1, but Sacred still kills Gunner. Back to Lelis. Kisses have been canceled. Dark Nago is there. Everybody's there. They'll bring down the Rubik. That's a 5-for-2 trade. A full 5-man wipe in favor of Beast Coast.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice tips coming out on the K1. That was a nice attempt there. Unfortunately, you finished your Eye of Scotty on K1 like the same time you tried to take that team by. He was way too tanky for them to bring down. He just did not have the damage to go through his HP or his armor. I think like Yamsun even made like the active decision not to attack him there. Or barely hit him. Just hit him like 5 times. Realized that they weren't ever going to hit him. Didn't want to lower his HP just for him to be able to get the Sunder off, which is exactly what he ended up doing. Got it off onto Moo. They couldn't finish anyone off, and then Moo was in a lot of trouble.
And eventually they managed to kill K1, but it was just too costly.
Yeah.
But by the time that he was dead, it was I think like a 3-for-1 at that point, or a 4-for-1. It was real bad at that point. If it wasn't for that Mortimer's Kisses, they still would not have killed K1.
Yeah, a lot of damage came out from that one.
That's a big steal from Nellis.
Yeah. Up 6K net worth now on the side of Beast Coast, so Nouns got to be sweating a little bit after that. I'm sweating a little bit after that.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're a Beast Coast fan, you're like saying, you know what? This team has had their struggles so far in Pro Series, but now they're looking real good. This is a promise this roster had of being, one of the best South American teams ever assembled. So this certainly has potential to be a lot, and so far they've shown a lot this game. But now they're not done yet. They smoke S3, they've run into Schofield. Schofield is going to die. He even heavily jumps into the action, but eventually, actually, I wouldn't say eventually, he immediately dies in that fight.
Yep. Couldn't follow up though on Mars. Blink Dagger still on cooldown, so end up losing Zeus. It's not so bad though.
Yeah.
There's a pause for hero, but it's kind of unfortunate that now Nouns controls your area of the map, but thankfully Terrorblade is farming the enemy's jungle.
It's the classic swap. You trade your own jungle for your opponent's jungle. It's like, yeah, about an equal trade, more or less.
Mm-hmm. And,
it puts Nouns in a better spot to do Roshan, but as we mentioned, they don't do Roshan very well at all, so it doesn't really matter. Meanwhile, Beast Coast, smoke on up, blink in on Yamsun. Look to burst him down immediately. He's an Orchid. He raided, looking for an infest. He infests into Moo. Now Moo is on the run, but Beast Coast cannot run down another tanky core. Wow, that could have been real bad for Yamsun, but again, the little margins. It's a game of inches Dota sometimes, it's the little margins.
Yeah. So at this point, he's probably thinking that he needs BKB on Yamsun. As it was the Orchid that really got him there.
Yeah, he
Not
needs
being able to pop
some
that
kind
rage.
of dispel for sure.
Yeah.
If it's not it's going to be BKB.
Yeah, it's
If
BKB.
it wasn't, it'd be something else.
Yeah. Gunner's going for Dragonlance. That's crazy. He's just right-clicking.
Radiant's middle
Dragonlance into full Hurricane Pike. Now that's Dota 2 right there.
Beast Coast players going. 4 staff on Zeus. Be able to save.
Hey Neff, remember that thing we said that Nouns couldn't do?
Well, the Roshan?
They're doing it right now, yeah.
I mean, they've already dropped the Zeus ult. Arena's on cooldown. It makes sense to go for Roshan right now.
Gunner's Courier, by the way, is in no man's land, but it seems not to matter. Beast Coast know the Courier's there, by the way. May I think there's smoke on Nouns in this jungle, but instead they're in the Roshan pit. So it's Yamsun with Immortality.
Was that intentional? That might have been like a 200 IQ play.
Either it was 200 IQ or 2 IQ, and sometimes it's impossible to tell.
Yeah. It's possible they thought that, they were just inside the jungle there. If Nouns like
we will
knows
give Gunner
that
the
they have a
benefit of
ward
the
there.
doubt.
Yeah.
We will give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a good player.
Yeah. All right, BKB complete on TB now. They have absolutely no way to kill this guy. They're never going to have the physical damage in order to get through him. And now we just got magic immunity. So they have to somehow waste that, survive his auto attacks, and then burst him down afterwards. They're essentially killing like TB's entire team before they go for TB.
All right, I have a game plan.
Go ahead.
Do not deal with terror. Just ignore his existence. Hope he doesn't kill you.
Yeah. You hear what my therapist says, right?
What were you saying before all that? I cut you off there.
My therapist says, if there's no solution to a problem, it's not a problem. It's just part of your life.
So Terrorblade is simply a part of their life?
Yeah. Exactly, exactly. It's all perspective, my friend. Nice rage.
Of course,
Yeah,
of
man.
course. I mean, we always say things are unfortunate when an unfortunate play happens, but it's unfortunate for one team. It's fortunate for the other team. So you know,
Very
it's all
true.
two sides of the same coin, really. Seems like Lelis may be in a little bit of danger top lane. Actually, never mind. There's no. If there was anybody here but Stinger and K1, that might be a kill, but not the heroes you want to go on a Rubik with, Chibi and Hoodwink. I do want to point out, though, the items that Beast Coast are building into in terms of mobility. They have a blink on Stinger, they have a blink on Dark Mingle, they have a blink even on Stinger. They have 3 blink daggers. They are here to play very loose, very active Dota. They want to be in these. Meanwhile, Wells, speaking of blink, goes on in onto Dark Mingle. He'll BKB, looking to run away. He'll Arena on 4, looking to try to get away from Yamsun. Yamsun's rage is on cooldown. He's running out towards Sacred. Lelis already dead. Gunner arrives. K1 arrives. Sacred is dropping. Husky is dead. Sacred will now eventually die. But K1's doing a lot of work. He's slowing Gunner. He turns to Yamsun. Yamsun has 2 lives, but will lose 1. Nouns. Play with 3 in a 3v4. Tornado will hit illusions. Yamsun will rage and TP. He'll get away, but Gunner is in a lot of danger. The detection, it appears to be lacking. They're still running at him. He'll ice wall, trying to run, but in comes Stinger with the aforementioned blink, pinning him down. There's too many stuns. Pulse snap's there on Stinger, but they bring down Gunner. Huge fight again for Beast Coast. The lead extends. The spear is there on Yamsun. He will not die, but regardless, Beast Coast are victorious in another engagement.
Yeah, he broke his own Ghost Walk there, but he would have gotten revealed. Stinger was holding on to 1 sentry ward, so no point of him continuing to hold the invis. Oh, nice clean up there by Beast Coast, reacting to that and getting the kill off on the Gunner. Every kill that brings him down is going to be absolutely huge for them. And
Well,
yeah,
they
we
might
saw how
kill Stinger, but that's not an equal trade still.
Yeah, they do get him. But again, in that last team fight, we saw how little they could do about the TB. They just chose to ignore him there, attack the teammates around him.
They followed my advice, and it did not work.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
It did
couldn't bring
not
down Mars either. And Mars is now going for damage items. Desolator coming out for him.
And you were lamenting the possible lack of damage on Mars with a blink first, but Dark Migos is 2 farms. He can also buy damage.
Yep.
Well, if you're Nouns, what's the gameplay? Obviously, I mean, Nouns know they're behind. Everyone knows. I mean, obviously, Beast Coast know they're ahead. Nouns know they're behind. If you're Nouns, what's your game plan to try to come back at this point?
I mean, this BKB on Lifestealer is a big part of it, but he's going to need a Basher. He's going to need a... Yeah, he's going for Mjolnir just to be able to do magic damage and clear out the illusions. You have way too much armor, way too many units that you have to hit on the TP. He was going for Silver Edge. Ooh. That will make trading on Lifestealer very difficult. I mean... Lifestealer steals life.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now that we have that one, if you break him, he's not stealing the life.
That sounds like a problem for Lifestealer.
Yeah. He is not going to be able to out-heal the damage that TB does to him, and he's going to desperately need that. I think just like the 4 seconds of the break that was applied to him, he'll die in that time. Unless he happens to be on them with the open wounds, as that one is not a passive, but you have so many BKBs on the side of Beast Coast that I'm not sure that's happening.
At this point, Beast Coast they're claiming some more map control. We'll get that bottom T2 tower, but it is a trade of tier 2s, it appears.
Yeah.
There is Yamsun and Moose slapping that top T2 tower. So
Desolator, yeah. Okay, sick of being the initiator on Dark Mango. It's time for him to go in. He's going to be the protagonist. He's going to deal the damage. Let's go.
I mean, if we're going full circle, he's now wearing 2 hats. He is the initiator, and he's also the damage, but he's also the tank. He's doing everything.
Yeah, man's got it all, truly.
A man of 3 hats.
Yeah.
And you're mentioning the Silver Edge. It's done, by the way.
Yeah.
It's already finished. Well, this is scary for Nouns. I mean, at this point, if you're Beast Coast, you just want to get second rush on it and pretty much end the game, right?
Yeah?
We'll go with that.
What is Lelis doing up here?
He's being a Rubik.
Yeah.
They're hunting him, and he might...
him.
Never mind, yeah, they have vision with the Thunder God's Wrath. Bushwhack, Sharpshooter, Lightning Bolt. The damage is too much. Down goes. Yes, he bought space. He did buy some space, but I'm sure Beast Coast are happy claiming that kill.
Yeah. It's a heavy commitment of Thunder God's Wrath for that one, but it does end up paying off. Do they tip him? Come on. Leave the poor guy alone. He's doing his best over there.
Wait, Orchid. It's there on Yamsun, who's running a Sacred. Meanwhile, Dark Mega will Arena and Spear Husky. Moo comes in with the heal. The counter initiation on top of him. Dark Mega will BKB, looking to run. Yamsun runs in, runs out. He's moving around. So both teams use things. Nobody dies, but the fight might not be over yet. There's a lot of Beast Coast heroes in the mid lane area. And they'll run away.
Yeah. Nothing's going to come of this. They're actually opting to go for the alacrity damage and speed rather than the plus 80% chaos meteor damage.
Huh. He's interested in right-clicking, apparently.
Yeah.
Wait, what if he goes... I was talking about logical about this. What if he goes Reverence Brooch on Gunner?
Dire.
Maybe that's your magical damage. You just deal with the TB.
That would be kind of hype. Not going to lie.
Wait, meanwhile, mid lane... K1 is doing a lot of damage to Lelis. Seems like he'll die, and he will die.
Yeah. Yamsun thought about infesting him there, I think. To be able to top up his HP, but I think at this point now we realize that he just kind of needs a Ghost Scepter. His 4-step, I believe, is now done, though. I think it was just being flown out to him in the middle of that one, but not wasting any time here on Beast Coast.
Radiant's middle tower
Looks like they're walking up the high ground, in fact. Desolator and TB are going to make quick work of this one.
Meta's still about 1/3 duration. Yamsun will halberd
Oh
K1,
my
running
God.
in, running out with his rage now ending. K1 says, you know what? I'm back to hitting buildings, though nouns have lifted their T3 tower. Gunner blinks in, tornadoes everything he can with an EMP on top. He will get away with his play. Meanwhile, top lane, Husky Dice goes back to the mid lane. Gunner will peek if he's dodging the pushback. He turns on Stinger. Stinger is in the ice wall, and he's going to die. So it's a 1-for-1 support trade. But Husky had to use his buyback, and Nouns lost their T3. Beast Coast come out on top on that one.
Definitely. And now I think Beast Coast starts to set up around the Roche pit. I've got a minute and 40 seconds before that one spawns, and I'll give plenty of time to Hoodwink to respawn and come back up. I don't think Noun's going to get that much control over the map again in that time. 15k network advantage at this point is kind of rough.
Yeah, I mean, it's
still a long way off the solutions. He's going for Mage Slayer right now on Gunner.
well, it seems like Nouns, they do not want to lose the slow game. They want to either make a comeback now or lose on their terms. They've smoked S4. Problem is they've caught Moo already with the arena from Dark Mago. That's not ideal at all for Nouns, for Beast Coast. They're cheering like, yes, we've brought down Moo. That's a big part of the team fight for Nouns. And they were just looking for a team fight.
Yeah. And Roshan going to be spawning in 50 seconds. As soon as Moo gets back up, he will have his ultimate to join them in a team fight, potentially. But, again, with the further getting skewed in favor of Beast Coast here. No.
It's blinking and slamming time, though. Beast Coast, Stinger, first blink. Sacred follows, finds Lelis, misses the scatter blast. Meanwhile, Husky has been caught as well. Gunner blinks in. Spear from Lelis was stolen and missed. Stinger is low. Stinger is dead. So it's now 4v4. Lift is there on Dark Mago into the open wounds. Yamsun has alacrity on him. K1 is invis, running on in, hitting Yamsun who's half HP. Over to Sacred. He has been caught. He'll be kitty. Meanwhile, Yamsun's being run out by K1. Back to Sacred. He's now playing a Gunner. Sacred is dropping. Gunner's half HP. Both are fairly low, but K1 is arriving. Sacred blinks away. Now Gunner is invis with the Ghost Walk. Back over to Yamsun. He's still running from Schofield. Schofield cannot get the kill. Back over to the north side of the fight. K1 and Dark Mago are fine, looking for the jump. Instead, it's Husky running into Schofield at the buy camp. Husky has tanked a lightning bolt. Frostbite comes in. Moo has respawned. Sword Guardian towards Schofield. The Zeus has fallen now 5v3, and Beast Coast with the 3 will disengage.
Alright, so they managed to find a little bit on Nouns there. They get the Zeus, they get the Hoodwink there. Not lose much themselves. And with that, Roshan respawns, thankfully. Abilities, well, BKB is the very least on cooldown. Not Arena, though.
There's a chance that, okay, we have been paused.
Pause comes out. Alright.
I will tab to my stopwatch.
Excellent. Huh? We got it down to the set. How long do Beast Coast have left in pause time?
They got a bit under 9 minutes.
Very unlikely. Ooh.
got-
Wait, what do you mean a bit under? Oh, right, a bit under 9 minutes. Sorry. I thought you said 10.
They have 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining of pause
Man,
time.
we got this down to the second how much pause time they got left. Anyway, a decent fight for now. It's giving him like the run around, playing inside the trees there. And again, this does give them the opportunity to grab the Roshan. Aegis and Aghanim Shard would be absolutely huge for them to come back into this game. Because I think one of the biggest tools they have is just dropping the arena. If you can survive at first initiation, I think Gunnar is going to be able to do a decent job at like clearing the heroes out again. Same goes for Rubik.
It's actually we might see a very rare occurrence where the team that gets every Roshan in the game is still losing, because nouns are in a pretty decent position to get that second Roshan, and yet despite getting both Roshans and the free shard, they'll still be down by like 14k gold.
Yeah, I mean, beastcoast has been playing these team fights super well, and I think that Terrorblade is just an amazing pick. K1 has been playing it super well. They have no way to bring him down. Have it for some time now.
It was the a 23 pick TB, correct?
Right. Yeah.
So nouns had their choice to counter pick, but they, I guess, either felt confident enough in their cores or said, you know what, we can't swap it around in this case. I mean, maybe they could have gotten a different core to lane into the TB, but it's impossible to tell at this point.
I mean, they'll have Heaven's Halberds for him. I think, yeah, having Heaven's Halberds on multiple heroes is actually huge. Like, you got nearly 50% downtime on Terrorblade with auto attacks. At that point, the man needs to get himself status resistance or some shit in order to actually get attacks off on people. So, it's not a lifesteal. It's being worked on a Moo right now.
Well, we are back, by the way. We are back from the pause. I've tabbed back to the stopwatch. They have about 7 minutes left. 6 minutes and 57 seconds if you're keeping track, and I actually am. But back to Roshan. He's already half HP. He's going to die really soon. Wait a minute, beastcoast? They're going in! Mortimer's kisses, K1's running in, Roshan's still alive. Meta from K1, Arena on Gunnar, they've caught the Invoker. Invoker gets nothing off in the fight. It's absolutely disastrous for nouns. They move to Yamsun, who's half HP, who gets Roshan? Yamsun gets the Aegis, not sure who got the shard. Freezing Field has been cancelled. The beastcoast are winning the team fight right now. Yamsun's life stealing, looking towards K1. K1 still BKB, still has Sunder. Yamsun will lose 1 life. And he has the free Aghanim Shard. In comes the spearing of Battle Spear on Sacred. Yamsun runs in again. K1 brings down Lelis. Yamsun will TP away. No, it's not in time. A triple kill for K1. And now Moo, the lone survivor, is running away. He'll get bushback. He'll get brought down. Donny got his on 0 heroes. And with that, beastcoast have secured a full 5-man wipe again. And they are in an unbelievably commanding position now.
Yeah, that spear needed to... That was such a nice attempt. That spear needed to knock K1 back, get the stun off, and unfortunately that is not how that one went down. Now, they're just going to walk up high ground, try to close out the game. The only buyback they have available right now is just going to be Moo. And by himself, he's not going to be able to do anything. So 2 sets of racks at the very least is what they're going to lose. And Sacred and Stinger just hitting the tier 4s. K1 disagrees. But splitting up their
Seems like
efforts
he
might
might
be
be
decent.
headed. I mean,
Yeah.
even if we're not at the game 2 quite yet, it's still a very long shot for nouns to win this game. Down 2 racks, down 26k plus gold at that point.
Yeah.
It's still possible, but it'll probably require beastcoast to make a mistake rather than nouns to play well, you know?
Yeah. This is just the nature of the lifesteal into the TB matchup. I mean, again, TB stack growth rate is like absolutely insane. Way more damage than you. Pop the metamorphosis as well, and it's just significantly too strong. You need way more time to get items and whatnot than they need to close out the game.
I have received a communication from the Beast Coast manager. Apparently they're getting packet loss at the team house right now. They may need another pause soon, so...
I see. It's
we might
understandable.
end up with a slightly longer break between games 1 and 2 as we fix that situation.
Yeah.
I will keep us updated as that progresses.
Excellent. Does Mr. Ko still have his grill there?
I have no idea.
Or does this new team have to earn the grill?
And they've got Kami, formerly of No Runes, as their manager.
I see. Last manager was remote. I'm not sure if this current manager is remote or at the team house.
I can ask if you want.
Yeah. I know that
You want me to ask us?
I know that like both of Beast Coast
no,
managers
Gunner's
speak
been
like
caught!
6 different languages.
Okay, he gets away. Never mind.
Yeah.
He barely gets away. Dark Mago's running in. Oh, Yamsun, okay. He avoids the spear, turns on Dark Mago. The rage is ending soon, and now he must run. Stinger blinks in, has the bushwhack, but was not quite in range of it. Gunner has a two-man tornado into the Meteor combination. Dark Mago BKBs into Arena's Gunner on the inside. Gunner has been speared and stunned to death. And now, for now, this time to run. Lelis will lift back Yamsun away from the chaos. One key problem, guess who doesn't have a buyback? It's our main man, Gunner. 72 seconds.
Yeah, he's 1,300 gold away. I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to do without Gunner in this next team fight. He feels absolutely crucial to them. Moo's just doing his best to split push out to the other side of the map and finish up this Heaven's Halberd that he's been working on. He is continuing to save for buyback, but I think at this point he just commits for it. If he doesn't have the Heaven's Halberd, I think they straight up lose the fight. And if he dies and comes back a second time, I don't think it makes that much of a difference compared to what the Heaven's Halberd is going to give him. I'm just not sure that they can kill the TB during the disarm. He's almost always going to get the Sunder off. You don't have magic immunity on anyone unless you can silence him, and that feels near impossible when he has both a BKB and a Manta style to dispel.
All right, I figured out the one location on the map where they can catch K1 with BKB on cooldown, where he'll be unable to use Sunder, where his teammates can't help him. I want you to turn your attention to the bottom left of the map, the Nouns Fountain. That is their best bet to kill him. Now the question is, how do they get him there?
Yeah.
It's not okay. They have Rubik Lift. They have stolen Rubik Spear. So if they can get him, I don't know. You see where that little Nouns logo is next to the Moonwell? If they can get him there, lift him, spear him, he's suddenly in the fountain. That's their best. They need to somehow bait K1 away from getting megas towards that logo, and then somehow steal spear on top of that to bring him into the fountain. I think that's the only way. I don't see another way for Nouns to win this fight.
Radiant's top tower.
Well, that's if they give up spear though, and I'm not sure
it's a lot of conditions. It's a lot of conditions, but I don't see another way.
Yeah. 28k net worth advantage right now.
29k even. The T3 is dead. I mean, Moo's trying to defend. He is the best defender remaining. In comes Dark Mago with the spear. Moo has been pinned to the aforementioned Moonwell. Yamsun heals him up. Oh god,
that's
Sacred
a
demolishes Lelis. What an absolute disaster for Nouns. Rubik fights back, but Moo is immediately demolished by K1 with the crits. Yamsun's trying to stand his ground. Moo buys back. Solar Guardians into the fight, but at this point, Beast Coast once again have 5. Orchid on Husky, Halberd on Sacred. Sacred is going to die, but so will Nouns base. That is megas for Beast Coast, secured by the K1 Hector Terrorblade.
Yeah, with that, they're just going to back off out of the base. There's a double damage inside the river as well, but there's no reason they shouldn't bother waiting for a Snapfire to respawn before taking another stab at it. Oh god, the packet loss has to be incredibly bad. I think they're just disconnecting from the game. I disconnected from the game earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously unfortunate.
I think it's just a team house issue, though. I don't think the servers are having that many issues. Although
it could be their individual ISP. It could be the modem, could be the router. I'm not exactly sure of the situation, but
I'm almost certain that the Beast Coast house has multiple lines of internet.
That's what Kami was implying with, like, change the internet. Yeah. Being able to go to a second line of internet between games, and that, once again, that's some good contingencies in case internet goes down when your job requires you to have good internet.
They've got some awesome infrastructure at Beast Coast.
And of course, I was talking with the great Colin Bashor, and he's running a good ship over there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a great job over in Beast Coast in terms of supporting that team.
Yep. They've made CEO, and I'm not sure if the general manager has. The CEO has made multiple trips down there just to make sure that everything is running smoothly.
I mean, Grant cares about his teams. That's what I've been told, and I believe it. Shout out to Grant. BC Grant.
Yeah. His name's Mr. Coast, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Either way, though, oh, God. Yamsun's dead, by the way. The trade was for Schofield. That's not good for Yamsun.
You hate to see it. He just does so much damage.
I mean, he died nearly instantly. I mean, again, Lifestealer is not a squishy hero. 23 armor, evasion, lots of HP. He's just dead, though.
God's Rebuke did almost 800 damage.
I mean, he's got buyback. If he wants to use it, he can. Dark Mago blinks in. Gunner BKBs in time. So does Dark Mago. He's running away on Mars right now, and he will get away. Gunner still running forward. Stinger comes in. Gunner blinks even further forward. Tornadoing Stinger. Stinger the target. Spear again from Dark Mago on Gunner. K1 blinks in. Pop BKB pops the meta. He's doing so much damage. Husky is demolished. Moo is dropping. Moo is demolished. Nouns. They are running out of heroes to defend their crumbling base, and they're running out of base to defend. Gunner's juking around, but he accepts the inevitable. The GG is called, and Beast Coast will take game number 1 over Nouns.
Got him. Beast Coast looking good in this game number 1. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the Dark Mago Mars mid. I was concerned when I saw the Snapfire playing to the off lane, but the man plays aggressive enough and fast enough from the mid lane as like a tanky frontline hero that he can make up for the fact that you don't have one. Also, didn't have a great solution for the TB once it came out. I think this is something they're going to keep in mind. You know, the last phase of the bans, they didn't have enough hard lockdown. It didn't have enough burst damage to deal with him either. Once he had the Eye of Scotty, his max HP armor was just way too high for him to be able to melt through on Nouns before we can get his Sunder off, and it felt like they really never had a chance after that point. So, Beast Coast outdrafted and outplayed him around the map, stalled out long enough for K1. Looking good. I was a little bit concerned that they'd be able to, their ability to play around K1, given that this is like a new roster. The last team was like so familiar with his style of carry, but managed to make it work for this game.
They still obviously have their strategic core. I mean, they have the 2 support players still there. They've got Schofield. They've got Stinger. I mean, these players, they know each other pretty well. They've been around the SA scene for a while. And, I mean, so far, Beast Coast are now putting it together. I mean, they have been looking very good today. We'll have to see if Game 2 is the same or if Nouns can bounce back and bring it to a Game 3.
Yeah, but up until then, we're going to take a short break, so stay tuned, everyone, while we get to Game 2 on the way. Back in about 5-10 minutes. See you soon.